Well, good morning. Welcome to Up to the Minute. I'm Todd Duplantis, and it's good to have you with us on this Wednesday. This week is just flying by, and then we got a long holiday weekend. That's always a treat. Joining me once again, 2 times in a week, and it's going to be a record here, Dr. Nicholas Cox. He's the History Department Chair. Nick, last time you were on the show, I gave you a promotion. I imagine that didn't fly, though. But
that's right.
Yeah, because I promoted you to what, Dean, I think?
That's right. I'm only a chair, The Dean is my boss.
Chair. Well, it's good to see you back on the show on this Wednesday. We got a long holiday weekend upon us and a couple of more shows before we wrap things up for the week. We want to thank everyone watching us on Facebook Live and YouTube. We're here just about every morning. HCC is in session, live at 10 a.m. And Nick, they can also catch us anytime in social media and on HCCTV as well.
That's right, Todd. We're live on the Houston Community College District Facebook page and on YouTube. We're also on Twitter, LinkedIn, and HCCTV at noon, 5, and 10 p.m. Monday through Thursday this week, but normally Monday through Friday.
That's right. So this week on Friday, of course, we have a big holiday there. So we'll be off for the spring holiday and for the whole weekend. So enjoy that. But first things first, we've got a couple of guests we want to get to. Nick, you're going to be talking with this next guest. Janet Parr is the program coordinator with the banking and finance at the Business Center of Excellence. Janet, welcome back to the show. Good to see you. Let's see if your mic. Let's see if we can get you to unmute your mic. Well, let's see. We'll check in with you in a little while, but work on unmuting your mic. We'll get to you in about 10 minutes. So Janet Parr is going to be joining us very soon. But first off, we've got Jeffrey Stear. He is the Engineering STEM Program Coordinator for the Engineering Center of Excellence. Welcome back to the show, Jeff. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much, Todd.
You've got a one-of-a-kind tournament that you're about to host. Tell us about that.
Sure. Thank you. We're hosting a Robotics Invitational tournament. We're calling it the Eastside POWER. It's been developed through a partnership with CenterPoint Energy. Al Payton, who's a vice president at CenterPoint, recently joined the foundation board of directors and reached out to see what they could do to help. Of course, they're very heavy on STEM with both engineering and the electricians that they employ. So we talked with them about a robotics competition. Robotics competitions are very well known and proven to increase interest and success in engineering and STEM education. But you're right, the program is one of a kind. It's unusual because we're working with our robotics partners at Urban STEM and Best Robotics, we've been doing programs with in the cycle. But this particular one is an out-of-cycle developmental program for schools who have not been able to create a robotics team for whatever reason, lack of opportunity or potentially funding.
And you also have a $75,000 grant to help promote this and the STEM and engineering careers. Tell us about that specifically.
So yeah, the $75,000 grant was offered us after we spoke with CenterPoint about what we were trying to do. They were very gracious, and we went through and outlined the program. We essentially put together a program that is over a 6-week period of time. We've already started it, and we're going to be having our kickoff event here later this month.
And tell us the theme of the invitational that you have coming up.
So that's really, really an interesting point. The theme that we picked was a redux of the Best Robotics event. They do an event every year, and it was called Off the Grid in 2019. So we're using an old one specifically so that the teams that are getting involved from the developmental mode can go out onto the website and look at videos and get ideas for the robots and learn more about it without the pressure of being in that normal cycle of competitions that can be very hectic. But the Off the Grid theme is about power distribution, which of course is a great fit for CenterPoint Energy. And it also is great for us to be able to use because, Best Robotics has reaches over 25,000 high school, middle school students every year.
And now the event's later this month, but it started last month? Tell us how that worked.
Right. Yeah, it's 6 weeks. The program is designed to be 6 weeks overall. So we have a kickoff event on March 4th at the Eastside campus of the Southeast College. Students and their faculty mentors came as a college. The Southeast College really rolled out the red carpet. We taught them, we did, first of all, we gave them over $1,000 worth of tools and electronics equipment. And then we sat them down and we worked through several workshops. We did a workshop about how do you build and design a robot. We did a workshop about the coding, and we did a workshop about the overall strategies and some of the marketing, journaling, and things like that they have to do as well. The schools that are involved include Texas Charter High Schools, IL Texas, and Rhodes. We've got D.D. and Stevenson Middle Schools from HISD, and then we've got Fur, Wheatley, Milby, South Early, Eastwood Academy, and Energy Institute high schools from HISD as well.
I guess the question I would have, robotics seems very complicated to me. Is this something that students can come in and get a certification going through this program and possibly get to work as they're completing their degree? Or do you need to move on to get a 4-year degree? How does that work?
So there's a lot of different elements that are involved in robotics. So the big news within HCC, obviously, is that we've got a new AI and robotics program. The AI program is now a 4-year degree that's going to start in the fall. So even though this is the engineering department and obviously robotics helps, as I mentioned before, to develop and prepare students to pursue degrees in engineering, you're right. They can also get into electronics technology through the Global Energy, teaches them about manufacturing, something that factors into advanced manufacturing sectors. And of course, digital information technology, robotics gets involved in that a lot of different ways through coding and through specifically the robotics program that they're starting up, they've been doing it for a little while. So you're right, this is a good feed into all those programs.
And we're talking, these are high-paying careers, aren't they, when the students get out there?
Yes, they are. They're some of the most highest-paying careers out there. Automation and robotics is a huge future influencer on what's going to be happening to continue to move our world forward and deal with some of the issues that we're dealing with around the world. So it's an excellent program and a good way to get students involved in the career path.
Are you finding more younger students are getting interested in this?
Well, we're working hard to get more younger students interested in this, that's for sure. What the research shows is that right at that middle school point, when they're about 7th, 8th grade, that's where some of them start thinking maybe STEM isn't so cool and they focus more on, friends and that kind of stuff. So, having these kinds of programs available and now within Texas, the UIL has actually adopted robotics as part of this. You can get in robotics like you used to be able to get into basketball and things like that. And we have another league that I'll talk about here in a minute too that we're connected to through this event as well.
Tell us you have some grants from the HCC Foundation as well, right?
Right. So the other thing that we thought we'd do in that developmental theme is we wanted to really create an opportunity for the students in the middle school and high schools to connect with HCC students. So we offered a $1,000 scholarship to 5 HCC students. We've got them working with the students, mentoring, going to the schools, working with them on the weekend events. And so then we also are offering 10 $1,000 scholarships to seniors from the various high schools that want to get into some of the programs that we just talked about to help get them started at HCC next fall. And that was done by the HCC Foundation, which helped a lot.
I want to ask you about your shirt you have on because we've got a unique partnership with U of H, the Engineering Academy, specifically on the east side, right?
We do, actually. And we had an event last Saturday, or the Saturday the 25th, and we had it here at the U of H HCC Engineering Academy at Fraga. So we had about 50 students that came here with their mentors. It was a great time. They really started to understand and appreciate all the camaraderie and the fun that you can have working on these kinds of things. And we did it at the U of H HCC Engineering Academy Makerspace, and they did it with the U of H HCC students. So it was a great program, and we were really happy to be able to promote the U of H HCC Engineering Academy here at Frog, and of course our sister campus over at Katy as well.
And you, once again, the big event, April the 15th, highlight that for us and tell us what people can expect.
Well, on April 15th, what's going to happen is we're going to use the best robotics format, which is very specific. It's a round robin tournament. The students will have at least 6 to 8 opportunities to compete. They'll be put into, there's a field that we're building right now. It's a rather significant element that simulates the grid in North America. And so the students will be cycled through, and they'll compete with 3 other schools in each round. They'll be challenged with doing things like replacing ropes on a wood simulated high power high tension tower like you see next to the Rhodes. They have to push around conduits. They have to install transformers, remove debris, and there's an automation piece. It's really cool, and the students get into it, and they're competing, of course, against each other, and that's what really makes it fun and exciting. It's going to be a fun, exciting time for all of them, and it's also a great opportunity for us at HCC. Right. We have a lot of programs that are going to be there promoting the programs we talked about before.
A lot of exciting things going on the east side. Eastside POWER is the event. We'll have all the information in our post after the show. Jeff, good to see you. Thanks for being here, and good luck with the competition.
Thank you so much, Todd.
All right, we're going to now take you over to our Business Center of Excellence and Banking and Finance. You've got a special guest you're going to be talking with, Nick.
That's right, Todd. Thank you. We're going to talk to Janet Parr today. She's the program coordinator of the Banking and Finance business for HCC Center of Excellence. Welcome back to the show, Janet.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you. Happy to be here this morning.
Oh, fantastic. I'm glad you're here as well. Can you start by giving our audience just an overview of the certificates and degrees that students can earn in HCC's Banking and Finance curriculum?
Yes. Our program has several awards, a 2-year degree, which we call the AAS, Associate of Applied Science in Banking and Finance. Then there's also 3 certificates that are currently offered. One of those is focused on financial operations. Another is focused on financial lending. And then a third is what is called an Occupational Skills Award. And that is focused on students getting into the banking industry through a fast track program that allows them to develop teller skills and customer service skills, so that they can enter into employment rather quickly versus the longer AAS degree and other certificates.
Well, with students at HCC, particularly those working on the certificates or even the associate's degree, are there scholarships or financial aid available for these students in classes?
Yes, financial aid will cover programs that students are taking that include certificates and, of course, the AAS. And then the Teller Training OSA has, I believe, financial aid will work for that too. But importantly, in our department, we have scholarship funds that we can award in our department. And so the award process, I think, is a lot quicker than the general financial aid process, because students simply contact me as the program coordinator. Once we can verify financial need based on our criteria, then they're able to send us their resume, send us some information so we can verify financial need, and then we can actually award those funds to students. So it is possible for students to take that certificate without any registration or enrollment costs to them.
That's great. I mean, our students would certainly appreciate any financial assistance they can get towards completing their educational goals. You mentioned the Banker Teller Training Certificate Program, but I was wondering if you could elaborate on that. Could you tell us a little bit more about that one?
Yes, I love that program, because it is a fast track program. It's 8 weeks. It takes 8 weeks to complete. There are 3 courses within that particular OSA. So students are attending class generally 4 days a week, and they are learning all about the banking industry in general, as well as the types of companies within that industry that employ entry-level people into the industry. And they are involved in learning how to present products to customers, customer service. And then we have a lab portion of that as well. So it's a hands-on type of thing where they're applying what they've been learning about. And we have a lab set up so that they're using an automated banking program to assist customers with things like transferring funds from one account to another, taking funds out of their account, etc. And they're also learning about presenting other products to customers, cross-selling, upselling, referral selling, the types of things that they will do when they're actually out in the industry. And then the final exam in that lab portion is where I invite bankers from the local banking community here in Houston to volunteer to come into the lab and role play as customers for these students, so they can critique the level of expertise that the students have at that point of graduating from that certificate. And it is their critique, their feedback, by which the success of that final exam is graded, because these are people who hire bankers all the time. They know what their companies need. They know what the industry is looking for, and they serve on our advisory board as well. Our program in general has an advisory board where volunteers from different banks volunteer their time to help us with understanding what the market needs at this time, helps us to determine if we're correctly teaching what is needed out in the marketplace. So that connection with industry helps us in our testing of our students as well in this program. And teller skills, the word teller is sometimes not even used anymore in banking because of technology. Some of those teller skills have been able to be automated, freeing up those employees then to take on other duties. So teller skills are utilized in things like job titles like universal banker, personal banking representative, financial services rep. A lot of companies have different names now for jobs that include teller skills. So those skills are still important, and additional skills that we teach have been added on to jobs like personal banking rep and universal banker and those other titles that are out there in the industry.
Well, Janet, since you mentioned how much the local banking managers and owners participate on the advisory board and on the evaluation of students' coursework, does this program also have a strong connection to employment afterwards? Do we have relationships between the program, the students, and potential employers when they're done?
We do see a great employment opportunity for the students. Again, bankers that come in and do the testing very often will say, I've had it occur where the banker will say, well, we definitely want to interview these students. So we will work with HR to get them in for interviews, and then jobs result from that. The college's data says that our program in general has 100% placement rate and has had that for, I think, the entire time that I have taught here at HCC, which has been decades. So, and oftentimes additional banks will contact us about hiring employees. So recently one has contacted us and said, hey, we want to hire more students. Can we have a meeting? Can we come together? A couple of institutions actually have contacted us recently. So I'll be meeting with them as well as others from HCC, meeting with them so that a pipeline can be created. And, the industry is changing, as every industries are rapidly changing in our economic environment. So we want to keep up with what's on demand in the industry and what's going on, and get our students out of that particular program immediately into job search. And we help our students understand through that course what the job search process is like. Because if you fail the job search process, then you're never going to get to the end of the interview process, which is going to, of course, be the springboard for your hiring. So the way that interviewing is happening, the way that resumes are being accepted in things, students need to understand the entire interview process so that they can be successful in presenting their qualifications in that process.
Well, Janet, you mentioned that these are at least the banker teller training certificate is an 8-week session. How often during the year do those 8-week sessions start? When would the next opportunity be for students to begin?
The next opportunity is coming up quickly because the program has another start date late in April. I'll have to look it up, but it's coming up in, I think, about 2 weeks. So the program is offered either a starting date, one time in a semester or twice in a semester, just depending on enrollment.
So at least maybe 3, 4, maybe even 5 times a year, there's an 8-week window where students could start. And if they miss this early April one, I assume maybe summer or August, you could catch the next round.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, students, if they want to, they can certainly contact me directly to find out dates and information about it. I'm happy to have students contact me directly about that.
Well, that was actually my last question / comment is if students need any information at all, they're free to send you an email or contact you at your office. And we're going to have your information in a post after our show so they can do that. Thank you very much, Janet. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Enjoyed talking with you this morning.
All right. Thank you both. A couple of announcements we're going to get through for the rest of the show. One of them involves Vocable. Well, the extension deadline to submit entries is today. It ends today. It's the Journal of Arts and Writing, HCC's Creative Writing Club. Vocable, a Journal of Arts and Writing, will no longer be accepting submissions at the end of the day today. So get your submissions in, and there's going to be a Vocable's release collaboration will be May the 5th. It's going to happen at the West Loop campus. We'll have a link in our post after the show. And there's also a number of faculty art exhibitions that are ongoing, and some of them are ending.
You know, that's right. That's right, Todd. Friday's a holiday, and so 3 of our faculty art spring exhibitions are going to close up tomorrow night. So you've really got 1 or 2 days left to see them. So HCC faculty artists across the district have their works on display, and be sure to stop by their galleries for these free exhibitions. There is at the Northwest Spring Branch Gallery, work by Natalie Stovall, New Visions of the American South. At the Southwest Stafford Fine Arts Gallery, Thomas Clark and Walter Wagner have Reaching and Seeking. And at the Central Fine Arts Gallery, Katherine Fields has Techniques from Greece. Registration's not necessary. All are free. Everyone is welcome. And you've got less than 48 hours to check them out.
All right. So Healthy Relationship Scholarship. That's right. There is one. You could win $500. HCC's Counseling Services is offering 2 Healthy Relationship Scholarships. Students can write a 500-word essay or create any piece of art. You could win $500. The deadline for submissions is this Sunday, April the 9th. So keep that in mind. Check our post after the show for information on that. And there's also a graduation program cover art contest. Our students can get their artwork on the graduation cover. It's pretty easy to do, but you got to have a submission to come in. Nick, you want to tell them about that?
Yeah, sure. As graduation gets closer, the college wants to make it a memorable event by showcasing students' design skills with the best commencement ceremony cover for spring 2023 and fall 23. The 2 winners will not only get their artwork published in the programs and promotional material, but will also have the chance to win a new iPad. The deadline to submit is 5 p.m. Wednesday, April 19th. Check our post after the show for the email for registration. And I'll just say, as a faculty member, I go to graduation every single year, sometimes twice. Yeah. And the better looking these programs are, the more entertaining it is for me to sit there during the ceremony every time.
It's a long day, but it means a lot to our students.
It's always fun.
It is. HCC is offering student success coaching. That's right. Student success coaching is a new and free student service available to HCC online-only students. It's a grant-funded initiative sponsored by the University of Florida, and following HCC, it assists online students and increases matriculation through a more hands-on approach. Check our post after the show for all the details. Now, as we were talking to Janet Parr earlier, it's important for students to keep in mind, registration is underway for the summer. And if you want to get into some of these cohorts, like the 8-week Teller program, you need to register now, Nick, because these classes do fill up fast.
Yeah, that's right, Todd. Registration is open. Seats are being taken. I check my numbers every day, and we're about 30% full, and we'll add more when they get fuller. But, if you want to choose the class, the campus, the professor that you want, the sooner you do that, the better. But summer registration is open, so take time, look at the schedule, look at the catalog. We've got classes, 5-week sessions, 8-week sessions all across the city, in person, online. We've got virtual classes, hybrid classes, lab classes, all the modalities, all the course offerings. You can see them all at hccs.edu/apply.
Okay, wrapping up today's show. Tomorrow, we've got a special guest. We'll host VMAS, Veteran and Military Affiliated Student Success, because it is Month of the Military Child. And for Thursday Family Fun Day, the Houston Area Parkinson Society returns to educate us on where that can be fun and games, as well as awareness about the fastest growing disease worldwide, neurodegenerative disease. So keep that in mind. That's tomorrow as well. One more day, then we're off for 3-day weekend. So, Nick, thanks again for being here today. We'll see you next time on the show, right?
Have a great week, and I'll see you then.
All right. Have a great day. And we'll be back tomorrow live at 10 a.m. with Up to the Minute.